Hey beautiful mamas out there, my name's Caitlin and I am a private midwife, but more importantly, I'm a mother. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. I've been through different life experience prior and during my time as a parent, and upon reflection of the good and the bad experiences, I've been able to help other mothers through these stages to become stronger and happier with the person they become. I myself have had my own struggles and sought guidance and found different support networks, and I want to be able to help mothers all around the world to be able to do the same thing, because not everyone has that close tribe by their side or having friends who are just down the road, which I myself haven't got that option, and I haven't for a long time. Professionally, I work with women during pregnancy and their families and into the early transition into parenthood. But after 6 weeks, my professional care ends, which frustrates me so much because I've built such a positive network with these parents and these families and this trust and bond we have here that they just want to keep coming back for support, and the government doesn't let me because I'm only a midwife. So a little while ago, I went to do further study to be able to help family and children development up to the preschool age. And during my placement and the study, I found it so rigid and so restricting that I couldn't be able to provide the care that I wanted, and the passion that I wanted was being smothered. So I dropped that idea and I decided that I want to instead provide a guide and support and explore for women ways to become confident, joyful, and find that zen in their life like I'm starting to do. I am by no means an expert, but however, I do use expert resources to support my information. Well, that was a bit about me, and I hope I still got your attention at the moment. So there, we're going on today's topic, and it took me a little while to decide what to do for today's topic. And starting off, I wanted something strong. And it came to me last night. It's such a critical, important topic, and what our whole world is based around, and that's our well-being. It's such a relevant topic with how COVID is and how different things keep changing every day. Poor new parents and people just trying to get by are struggling so much, and their well-being is not being prioritised, unfortunately. So that's why I felt well-being was a good place to start. There is so much thing on the market about your well-being and how to improve it, and there's companies and people who will sell, we know the answer, the best result for your well-being, and it's, in theory, short answer, no, they don't actually know what's best for your well-being. Of course, they found a method that worked for them and others, but they don't know who you are and they don't know what you need. And hey, the answer might be wonderful and amazing and sound incredible, but we are all individuals and we are all different. So when it comes to well-being, you've got to look after yourself. I was the sucker that always got sucked in for all those well-being things, and I paid the money to get that well-being. I did all the different products. I followed the strict routines and the food choices and the lifestyle, and to be honest, I never got the results I wanted. I never got the zen that I was expecting, and sometimes I was actually worse off than I was when I started. Well-being is totally about you. It's about looking after your physical health, looking after your emotional health, and your mental health. Your mindset and your limiting beliefs are 2 big things for your well-being, which lately I've learned a lot about and what are affecting our well-being. With my slow and regular changes, I am also seeing a difference in myself, and others are noticing it too. I am so grateful for these different changes, but I am so disappointed it's taken me this long to realize that I am actually worth it. I am actually deserving to be happy. I'm an amazing person. I have just the right support networks around me, and they're my tribe. A tribe works together for the greater good of all the members, and that's what I've learned is not, yes, well-being's about me, but also I make other people feel better when I feel better about myself too. Okay, now to get a bit academical on you, okay? This is where the mid-sides comes out. With the statistics that came out in 2020, a critical year, especially for well-being, the support network for perinatal Anxiety and Depression Panda of Australia released during Wellbeing Week that 1 in 3 women suffer birth trauma. That is not typically the physical trauma, it's the mental and emotional trauma women experiences. The statistics are so alarming because our tertiary hospitals and big birth kind of centres, they're pumping out thousands of births a year. And that's not including the rural remote communities that have birthing facilities. This is not including the private sector. How are these women coping if 1 in 3 are suffering trauma? So this trauma, they're starting parenthood on the wrong foot. And there is so much lack in resources and support for these women that this is affecting the way they're bonding their children, affecting the way they're actually living their life and actually looking after themselves, and it's affecting development later on with the children and themselves, and so much bad stuff. It's just what is our world going to be in 10, 15 years time if we don't take a stand against this and we don't look after each other and our own well-being. So I could talk about this for hours, and the issues that just these restrictions and stuff that's come in the hospitals have effect for women's well-being, but that's a whole nother topic and we're not going to go there today. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how important well-being is and how many factors can affect it, and you can fight back with your own personal well-being and supporting yourself. Yes, the hospitals and the clinics and all the resources, they're there to help, but unfortunately they don't have your well-being in mind at times, and you yourself can look after your well-being, and there's a simple steps to be able to look after your well-being. It's so important. I can't emphasize how important well-being is. One of the biggest misconceptions with well-being is, especially with women, is they just don't have time for self-care and their own well-being. They are looking after a new baby, they have older children, a busy lifestyle. Yes, a busy lifestyle is great if you're enjoying it, but what if a busy lifestyle to actually look after yourself, are you feeling that great? So this is kind of known as a limiting belief. A limiting belief is something you think is a rule that's placed upon you and you have to live like that, and that's how your life's going to be. Well, that doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't matter if you're a new mother. You can go get a massage, you can get your hair done, you can have a break and sit with friends. Your child will still love you and you still love your child, okay? So we need to get that bad mindset out of our head. We need to change that message, and we need to enjoy this parenthood, enjoy our life, okay? So typically I was that person who was running 100 miles an hour. I was going through life like I was late for everything because I felt like I just didn't have control of my life, okay? So I had to be that super mum too. Like I had to take on all the jobs, and I would be, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. And then I would be drowning. In my head, I was drowning. So I got sick, I got burnt out, and yeah, typically not good for my well-being. Okay, so I searched for answers. I couldn't keep living like this. I did some self-development courses. I learned a lot about myself. I did some big changes. I am not at the Zen level that I want to be, but that takes time, and I've learned patience, and I've learned how to slow down, which is incredible. I also discovered that I have a strong interest in reading. I'm not one to read the fictional books, the love stories, or all those kind of dramatic kind of books of that. I can't sit and read. I'd rather go watch it on a movie. But that's me personally. If you like reading, go for it. That's your passion there. Throughout doing my master's degree and all that kind of stuff, I was reading textbook after textbook, and I had no choice of what textbooks I had to read or what articles I had to read because it had to be relevant to our topics. And I was miserable. I hated reading. But now it's different. I have a choice. I stop my study and I'm reading for the sake of myself. I'm reading to relax. I love sitting on the beach and reading a book or winding down for bed at night that's just wonderful. And having that time while the kids are playing and they're happily not hurting each other for a change, I can sit and read and show them a good example without having a phone in front of me or anything else. And it gets them interested in reading too, which is such a big development thing. With my reading, I got more interest in nutrition, and nutrition and reading are the two strong aspects, I feel, of your well-being. There are so many other aspects, but for me, I felt nutrition and knowledge is very important. But it's not for everyone, and you take what you want out of what you need, and I'm only giving you a guide here. So nutrition is not about those expensive food trends and trying to eat these strict, boring diets and to gain a better well-being. You need to nourish your body, and nourishing your body is right down to those microorganisms. So it's not the food you actually expect. And I was quite surprised on what food is actually really good for our bodies and some what are not so good for our bodies. With this love of reading, I discovered a book. It's a great book, and it's called Beauty Chef Gut Guide by Carla Oates. I am not associated with them at all, or the book company or anything to do with the book. I just feel this is an amazing book, and I love for other people to read, especially if they've got their own gut issues or they're just wanting to know about how to nourish their body. It's an incredible book, and I, by mistake, actually bought it because I was buying it for a decor kind of coffee table book. It looks really pretty in that sense, but that's all I did. I never read it at the start, and it sat for weeks and weeks looking pretty on the coffee table, but nothing else. So then I got this strong urge to kind of have a look and see what the book was about. I kept seeing it. I kept thinking, maybe I should read it. Maybe it's more to just the pretty cover on it. And I can't put this book down. I love the way they explain how the things are and what it's actually doing for our bodies, and how they go into these things that people are suffering from, some like gut pains, issues, and all that stuff, to how to actually work out what's going on. There is no strict diets or plans. There is no, you're not allowed to eat any of these foods. You are stuck on this strict diet for the rest of your life if you're going to be happy. It is a way to reset your body, and that's incredible. If you're feeling great, mentally you're going to be feeling great too, okay? So when it came to it, reading about good food, what I'm putting in, I started feeling really good about myself, and I would take this away when we go traveling or read it before bed, and it just makes my mind tick in a different way and think about how can I nourish my body. It's incredible. So that was a good example of a self-care kind of activity that you can do. Reading is such a simple thing. It's not costly. You don't have to have those expensive books. This is that is a Kmart book that I think I picked up for $22. That is all. But it's my time out to myself, and it's changing my thought patterns. It's changing my life in the way I'm looking at. And if you're going to invest in anything, invest in yourself, because you are worth it, okay? You're worth every cent of it. So that is all for me, and this is just the surface of self-care and well-being, and I'm sure I'll have more videos on these topics later. Until next time, stay safe, look after each other, and do something kind for another. You never know, you might brighten up a bad day for them. Speak soon. Bye.